Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Bandwidth. I'm your co-host, Spencer Pose.
And I'm Liz Creekmore. Spencer, I feel like I just saw you 2 weeks ago and you made it back okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always need a little bit of recovery time after WISPAPalooza, but we've recovered. We're back to work.
Yep. So yeah, no, this was the 26th was no, the
21st.
21st
Yeah, last year was our
Wispapalooza.
20th anniversary
Okay.
show. So that makes this one the 21st.
21st.
Hmm.
Yeah, so brought out my bucket of name tags from all the shows I've been to.
Wow.
Yeah, I
So
found some.
So are you one of those you saved all your name tags?
I saved all of them. Yeah, I
I
basically
I,
threw
I
them
wasn't as
all in a
prepared as
drawer.
you, but I do have a closet rack that holds all of mine.
Oh, nice. Fancy. Yeah, no, mine's just thrown in a drawer and I just add to it every year.
Yeah, some
But
people
yeah.
save them, some throw them away. I'm kind of a nostalgic guy. I like that memory and kind of holding in
Mm-hmm.
my hand like this is what I've done in the industry.
Right. Yep. And
It's like a
it
living
feels,
resume.
yeah, exactly. And it feels like kind of an accomplishment to have been in the industry for a couple of decades now.
Yep.
Yep, some of us were kids, so some of my favorite people in the industry, I remember they were in their 20s when I met them.
Oh
Now
wow.
yeah,
Mhm.
back in the day when we were able to pull all-nighters at the show and stay out late, and, now I feel like last couple of shows.
And when we had the annual, awards banquets
Oh, that's
with
right.
actual steak dinners.
Yep. Yeah, when Rick Harnish was knighting everyone, and
Mhm.
it was a black tie event. Yeah, that was quite something.
Yeah,
Um,
we've come a long ways from those days.
yeah. Well, no, I thought it was a fabulous show. One takeaway I had from the show, I noticed, because I do like I like to make my round in the exhibit hall and just try to see, if there are any new vendors, if there's any new
Mhm.
technology. And I felt like this time it was a diverse group of vendors. So it wasn't, I'd love for it to be mostly wireless. That's kind of my world. But lots of fiber. I
Yep.
noticed laser technology. You and I got to go to a little laser tech event. But
Mhm.
just yeah, just a diverse group, which I think is healthy.
I think it's fantastic, WISPA's no longer just the wireless guys, we have so
Hmm.
many members deploying fiber today, and deploying hybrid solutions. I really think WISPA's the only organization that harnesses all technologies.
Yeah, no, totally. I felt like everyone that was there really felt welcome
Hmm.
there.
And don't
Yeah.
quote me on this, but I believe we had somewhere in the range of 25, 27 new vendors this year.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I personally feel like when you invite a new group of people, then they
Hmm.
start advertising to their customer base. And I think, come next year, we're going to see a lot of new attendees just as a result of the vendor attendance. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, Dave Thomas, WISPA's new vendor sales rep for booths and the show, had 3 months to do what he did, and it
mm,
was the best exhibit hall I've seen since I've been at WISPA for years.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I can't wait to see what he does at WISP America and WISPA Palooza next year. I
Hmm.
think we're really in a position to drive the show and grow it, over the next few years.
And I'm kind of excited to see it move to Caesars. I joke with people like it took me 5 years to get to learn how to navigate Paris.
Yeah, yeah, like,
And
I finally can walk around with my eyes closed and kinda know where everything is. The
mhm.
cherry rooftop, like, that's still
Oh,
I
I
kinda have to
love
go in,
that.
like, an oval circle to get there, and I don't do the
Yeah.
direct path.
Yeah.
Now, we had, the opportunity to walk through Caesar's Palace
Mhm.
2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, so we went to a dinner that was hosted by PSI, and we walked through Caesars. We actually had our dinner at Carmine's, but gosh, I don't know. Just as like a woman of WISPA, I kind of loved that it had some shopping, some shopping you could do, some really pretty high-end stores, great restaurants.
Yeah,
But
it's
it was
shopping
kind
I
of
can't afford.
no, I don't think any of us can. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was really cool. Yeah, it's a
Walking through the
nice.
facility, I mean, it is elevated compared
Hmm.
to Paris,
Yeah.
compared to Rio. Like, I am really, really excited to be at
Hmm.
this property. I think it's going to elevate our show. It's going to make it more luxurious,
Hmm.
kind of match Fiber
Yeah.
Connect at the Gaylord properties.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited. There was so much to do. I think all the vendors can do their parties and everything on property. The
Right.
only thing I'm concerned about is getting lost. The property was so big.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's intentional in Vegas. That's to be
Yeah,
expected.
absolutely. It's by
Yeah.
design. From
Yeah.
what I could tell though, and from what I've been told, is that the convention center of um of the Caesar's Palace is all like on its own wing. And so we won't have the going
Uh,
from Paris to Horseshoe and back.
okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that makes getting to the keynotes hard. That makes getting to
Hmm.
the various events that are over there hard. And I've
Right.
noticed the last few years dwindling attendance to the main events.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Just because it's
Yeah.
um
Well,
uh,
I think you have the
yeah.
same problem as I do. We've been in the industry so long, we know everybody.
Hmm.
Even going from the exhibit hall to a session one hallway away can take me 15 minutes because I keep
Yeah.
running into people. And you can only say, hey, I've got to run to this session so many times.
Hmm. Right.
By the time you get through that, look at the clock and you're headed over Horseshoe. It's
Hmm.
not even worth it
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
So
You don't want to second guess. You don't want to question whether or not you should attend a session, and
yep,
especially if you're interested in it. That's one of the reasons why we're here at the show, is just to learn new stuff and learn from each other. And
exactly.
yeah, yeah. I do have to say though, I mean, I thought the food this year was fabulous. Um,
Fantastic, right? I
yeah, it was
think
really great. Yeah.
it was similar to the food we've had in the past, but somehow the quality
Mm-hmm.
went up.
The quality.
Like
Yeah.
the sandwiches, the breads weren't as stale as they've been in the past.
Right.
They had like a good au jour or like a good areola, like mayonnaise.
Mm-hmm.
It was very good. And then my
Yeah.
favorite was, well, the tacos during the first night
Ah, okay.
reception is always good. And this year the quality was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But my
Yeah.
my true favorite was that Greek lunch on Monday,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah,
or
that was my.
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
with
my
all the
favorite
hummus. Yeah, that
foods.
was really good.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that was fantastic. So, I do think, I don't think that's a WISPA thing. I think Caesars,
Mm-hmm.
elevated their commissary foods. Um and hopefully it's only better at Caesar's Palace.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine it'll probably be. Um well, very cool. Now you actually attended, you didn't just attend one of the sessions, but you spoke at one. What were you speaking about?
Yeah, so I actually ended up speaking at 3 sessions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
One session is a regular panel I do every year with Rebecca and Jeremy Austin and Josh Luthman. Rules you need to
Mhm.
know for broadband. Um, like I said, we do that as a group every single year, so we have it down to a science. Uh, Rebecca covers all the legalities, and Jeremy and I are there to say how we do it in the field. Then we had a session on this one was a handful. I can't even say the whole title, but essentially it was maximizing bead funds in MDU buildouts. And that was a very limited topic to talk about because, like, if an area has bead funds, you can use it for MDU. Done.
Mm.
So we kind of restructured that whole thing and talked about like basic MDU principles. And then the one that we had a surprisingly good turnout for the last session of the day on Thursday um, was every address in the U.S. has broadband. What are you doing to set yourself apart from the competition in the means of like customer acquisition, provisioning, support? How are you making it a simple choice from marketing to install?
Mhm.
And that one was probably my favorite session to talk in. We had a great turnout, and
Yeah.
I really love sessions where the operators in the audience ask questions. Like I like it to be interactive, challenge us as the
Mhm.
speakers, because at the end of the day, we're providing information for you. And so we can rumble what's on the slide deck all day long, but if it doesn't resonate with who we're talking to, there's no point.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I agree with you. What were a couple of points that you guys brought up as to how you can differentiate yourself once every address has
Yeah,
high-speed
so
internet?
the big thing that I think like a lot of wisps fail on is end to end, you know, hands off sign up and scheduling and setup. And so, I demonstrated how at Blue Broadband we have all of our lidar data, everything like extensively documented, which you have to do for BDC
Mhm.
anyways, and how we're utilizing that for signups on our website and with our customer service reps, that's fully automated. And when I say fully automated, they put in the information, it checks for the service, it gives them the maximum speed they can get, shows them the plans, allows them to choose their mesh units, schedules them, signature for terms of service. All of this is done without completely hands off, completely online, without talking to a single person, and then we show up to do the install. And especially with our younger crowd, the Gen Zers and a lot of the millennials, they don't like talking on the phone. And so this is something that fiber companies have. This is something that the cable companies have, and we truly need to adapt as WISPs. So that was probably my biggest contribution and takeaway from that session.
Very cool. All right, and then I heard so the upcoming show in March will be in Atlanta.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
very
Yeah.
excited for that. It's only a 5 hour drive for me. Boop.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's easy to get to. Most people,
Mhm.
you have to, if you're going to Vegas, Oklahoma, you had two choices: leave your regional airport and fly, you know, through Atlanta, or fly through
Mhm.
DFW. And so now we're
Yeah.
doing this at one of the hubs.
Mhm.
So the biggest complaint I hear is it's so hard for me to get there. Well, not anymore.
Mhm.
And that's what the goal for WISP America, I'm sorry, it's now ISP America. The goal for ISP America in the future will be hub cities and ease to get to.
And yeah, did they recently change the name? When I was going through my badges, I saw I have a couple badges that say ISP America. So was it originally?
So, yes, it started as ISP America years and years back. And don't quote me on this. This was before my time. So
Hmm.
I may be mixing some of this up, but I believe that was part of the deal tied to Animal Farm.
Oh,
But yes, you may have noticed the last few years, the W, something has been different on Wisp America with the W.
oh, okay.
Either it's been
I
gray
didn't
or this
notice.
year it was yellow. I
Hmm.
call it the silent W, right? It's not just wireless providers in the exhibit hall anymore. Is that uh, the show should be enabling people that wisps that want to move towards fiber or
Hmm.
hybrid to move that, to move. I think it'd be a crime for an organization to not have the next technologies as a part of it.
Right.
Not everybody has to adapt, but if the industry is adapting, the organization needs to adapt with it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So let me ask you a question, Liz. We're going to ask
Okay.
a few of our guests later on this question, but what was the hit of the show? What did you walk away saying, "Wow," to a service, a vendor?
Gosh, I think there were several, but for me, because my world kind of revolves around anything that's licensed, so anything that has to do with the FCC or FAA, that's kind of the world that I live in. So one takeaway I thought was interesting, um, is the project that GeoLinks is offering to ISPs. So they have purchased nationwide spectrum, um, that is 30 gigahertz millimeter wave spectrum. So very high capacity short links, about 1 to 2 miles long, um, but high capacity and licensed multi-point, which I think would be great if ISPs could have access to that.
Hmm.
So they had a little presentation, and we actually got a chance to talk to them a little bit about it as well. The one thing I am waiting on them for is the pricing structure. So as we know, it has to fit the business case for all of
Hmm.
the ISPs. But it's interesting. So I think for me, that was kind of one of the key takeaways is that, we might have access to point to multi-point licensed frequencies, which I think would be fabulous and needed in some areas.
It's kind of a cool concept. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a open access network concept for license sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge proponent of open access networks. I think it's the best way for small ISPs to have a seat at the table or to have a fair playing field.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's great. I mean, obviously, pricing makes a big difference on whether
Right.
your mom and pop wisp or the whisper of the world can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be. I think it has a lot of potential,
Mm-hmm.
and if what they if the talk that they talk is true, then I think this will be great for our industry.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. So I think I definitely plan to follow up with them and keep an eye out for some publication in terms of the pricing structure and um, upcoming availability. It'll certainly be interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. What about you? what was like one or two big key takeaways for you at the show?
Let's see here. Geolinks really had my eye.
Mm.
Another thing that I found very interesting was several vendors had Terralinks in their booth.
Mm.
And
Okay.
that is the laser, the free space optics laser technology Google developed,
Yeah.
and then they were selling it under Alphabet, and select like I knew an ISP that said they were going to be a reseller for it, and like many things they say, it never happened. And then it broke off and became Terra. And so
Mm.
Alphabet broke it off to its own company and is making it available to service providers. Um, I've heard MSRP could be as high as $100,000, but I've also heard that they actually sell links for close to like 14, 18,000 once you talk to them and, gone through their sales process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So who knows? I haven't deployed it. I've looked at it. It's interesting. I believe the original case study was a tower in the Amazon rainforest in order to gather data. And if you look that stuff up, that tower is pretty darn cool. They track a lot of they have a lot of sensors on it that tracks the weather impacts and believe it or not, at the edge of the it's always raining in the Amazon forest, and then at the edge of it,
Mm-hmm.
there's the atmosphere hits and it stops raining, and there's like a waterfall. And that's one of the things that they're
Oh,
tracking
wow.
on that tower. Really cool stuff. It's
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
it's
That's
not
so
broadband
neat.
related, so
Yeah.
we won't go further on it, but look it up online. It's one of the coolest
Mm-hmm.
natural phenomenons in the world, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I'm glad you brought that one up because yeah, it's another indicator that we're showcasing a lot of different technology at the show.
exactly, very widespread.
Mm-hmm.
I will say congratulations to LibreQOS. They won Service
Mm.
of the Year,
Yeah.
or Product of the Year, and then Splynx won Service of the Year for their OSS BSS product. Um, so great, both great contributors to our industry. So
Mm-hmm.
very happy to see them win this year.
Mm-hmm.
Ubiquity won as well. Cambium won as well. So congratulations to all the award winners at WISPA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think after the show, I think all attendees got a survey to fill out as well. I know I got mine.
Yes, actually, thank you for bringing that up.
Mm-hmm.
Please do the survey that got sent out.
Yeah.
There were questions on it like, do you like Vegas? What did you think of the venue? This survey is truly designed for us to understand where the membership sits as far as future shows. So if you're online complaining and you actually go to the show, please fill
Mm-hmm.
out the survey so that we can track your complaints and actually make
Mm-hmm.
changes in the future.
And
Um,
also, I mean, I'm kind of glad you brought that up rather than I mean, I do like to see, people engage in conversation online and everything like that, but how approachable is the board? Like if someone were to say, hey, I think we can improve the show by doing X, Y, and Z next year, how does someone engage the board rather than just kind of post it online and then just encourage chatter around it? How does someone make a
yeah.
recommendation like that?
That's a great question. So we do have an agendas committee at WISPA. That would be one place
Mm-hmm.
to bring up suggestions. But as a board member myself and my other board members on WISPA, we are very approachable. We try to check our messages. You can email
Mm-hmm.
us. You can call us. You can comment. A lot of people tag us in comments where they're when they have a complaint. Um, as far as I know, most of us are very approachable. So please,
Mm-hmm.
I love to hear, to hear some criticism. Maybe not all complaints. Give me one good thing and three complaints. No, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, yeah. If you have suggestions, or you have a session that you didn't like or
Mm-hmm.
liked, and you don't want to do the survey, please reach out to one of
Yeah.
us. We'd be thrilled to hear it. We'll bring it to the agenda committee, to the staff, however it needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
But our goal is to make these shows each year the best that they can be, and we need membership participation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I do have to say, like, I did notice that there was a lot of high level one-on-one engagement with the attendees. A lot of the decision makers were actually at the show this time. So I had a lot of really
Yes.
good quality conversations with
So
people.
I've heard that from at
Mm-hmm.
least a dozen vendors, that this year there weren't as many people in the exhibit hall that per se, like technicians or people's
Mm-hmm.
employees, the ones that necessarily are kind of grabbing swag but don't have a decision making capability.
Mm-hmm.
But this year, the vendors I spoke to said, "Wow, Spencer, the leads that we got were all high quality leads ready to go."
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think quality over quantity for sure.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of vendors were happy with that this year.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would like to see the exhibit hall open longer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we tried it in March, and for some reason, the feedback we got was that no, but everyone
Mm.
I speak to says they preferred it. So, survey, 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 survey. That's how we make decisions. And if a few
Mm-hmm.
people say they disliked something that the majority people liked, guess what's going to happen? So, fill out your surveys. It's very important to WISPA.
Okay.
Well, Liz, we have a few guests that we're going to have on here shortly. But in the meantime, let's cut to a video that we took during the show and give everybody a preview of WISPAPalooza 2025.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's get to it.
Three, two, one.
All right.
We made it for one more year at
One more
Teltech
year.
in
We did.
Vegas
We did.
with Mini Elvis.
Yeah, we got Mini Elvis here at the Teltech booth. Come by booth 134 and check out what we have: towers, radios, and cabinets for sale. But Mini Elvis, I'll let you give your.
Got a lot of prizes too. We have a game. As soon as you put these two things in the hall, you're getting your prize.
So we have all the CCRs are about 4 times a week. So we go to the website. Oh yeah, that's true. But not keep things. They think they have LibreQOS suppress. Right now, I keep it. I have a black, a blue, and a navy.
She never made me the black shirt because I would go down on the
Is this a personal? We got the black one. Yes, sir.
Hey guys, we are here with David Alvarez from NetPoint. David, how is your WISPA show going?
Oh, it's excellent. So I'm very tired because I'm talking with a lot of people these days. So I'm very excited because all the people in this show, it was amazing. We find the new vendors, new customers. So I feel so very excited because all the WIS in the States is still growing, not only with fiber, it's growing now with the fights wireless again. So the wireless is reborning. Is the reborning of the wireless is right now.
Awesome. So what's the product you're coming out with this week?
Oh gosh. Oh, so the project I'm gonna make this week is it's very it's first the following to all the leads of this WISPAPALOOZA show, and well, I was going to talk with a lot of customers because we have a great projects to begin in the States. So many interesting. Use the licensed antennas for work directly with the Cambion and the Seragon stops.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, we're here with JT from RF Elements.
Hello.
JT, tell us about what you're doing here.
Yeah, so what we're doing here, we're antenna manufacturer out of Slovakia. You're probably familiar with our brand. We're specialized in high performance antennas, horns particularly. We're here regularly. We are very old members since the very early times with WISPA. Basically almost on all WISPA shows. So we are enjoying it here. We have a bunch of new products, new wideband horns covering 5 and 6 gigahertz, and all the adapters converting to all the radio platforms. So,
all right,
the show has been great for us. We
fantastic.
And we have Nicole White with SAF North America.
Hi, everybody.
Their U.S. headquarters is in Denver, Colorado, and they manufacture microwave and millimeter wave radios.
Point-to-point links, yes.
How is the show going for you so far?
You know, it's been a good show. It's not as heavy of traffic as sometimes we've seen, but I feel like we're getting a lot of quality traffic, and that matters more than having 100 people stop by your booth.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that's been the theme of this year.
Yes, quality over quantity is always going to be the better bet.
Now, we noticed you have a little giveaway here.
Yeah, so we're partnered with Splynx for a project, and we're showcasing their Pelican case, and people can come by and scan and enter to win that. And they had me enter, so it kind of seems like anybody can win.
Can you tell us just a little, in a few sentences, what your project with Splynx is about?
So we're working with them on the 28 to 30 gig spectrum, getting the ability for you to license the spectrum from them, and we're helping them out with the products that are going to be deployed. It's a great deal. So if you're interested, hit them up, check them out, or go talk to Liz, and we'll see what we can get going for you.
Okay. And then what's been your favorite takeaway so far with the show this year?
You know, with the show this year, it's been kind of great to see how the evolution of our industry is taking shape and what effect it's having on not only the ISPs, but the industry as a whole, the association as a whole, and kind of trying to gauge where we're headed, where all of us are headed in the next 10, 15 years.
Well, thank you, Nicholas. Thanks for giving us a showcase of your booth. And we'll see you at the next one.
I'll be here always. Thank you, guys.
My name is Robert, and I'm here representing LibreQOS. Our product helps small ISPs compete against the big guys, basically. What we do is quality of experience enforcement for ISPs. We shape traffic and make sure that buffer bloat goes away, and we help your customers stop seeing spinning circles on Netflix. We use some fancy queuing techniques, give you some amazing visual illustrations of that data, and help you stay on top of your network to compete against the big guys. Feel free to stop by booth 630. We want to thank WISPA so much for an incredible show. This has been a deeply rewarding experience. Winning product of the year has meant a lot to our entire team. And we thank WISPA for helping our industry and keeping small ISPs like my own, Jackrabbit Wireless back in El Paso, Texas, able to access spectrum and things that we need to survive as ISPs. So thank you, WISPA.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by our booth. I'm Heather with Splynx, and we're a BSS OSS platform. We're so stoked, we're so appreciative to the whole WISPA community for our amazing award we won this year. We won Service of the Year, so thank you so much to everybody. And yeah, we look forward to meeting our current customers and also anybody that's interested in learning more about us.
Hi, I'm Kelly Sieben, and this is my third WISPAPALOOZA. Another great show. I loved seeing friends, customers, prospects, meeting new people. It's one of my favorite shows, to be honest. I love WISP America as well, but WISPAPALOOZA's always a sparkly good time in Vegas. I'm from DeCix. We had a great time doing our marble race game, showing what the difference is between peering and transit. And I had a great response from everyone here. So much fun having everyone come visit and say hi and remember me from previous shows. And I've lost my voice from overuse and joy of seeing all my friends from previous years.
This week's episode is sponsored by PSI. Jeff Matson, PSI Sales Director, gave us a private tour of their fiber splicing trailer. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. All subscribers, if they purchase a fiber splicing trailer from PSI, will receive a free Royal Caribbean cruise. So come check it out.
So what we have here is we have our Liberty Lift. This is a collaboration between SMG Trailers and Arm Lift. So obviously Arm Lift is the specialist in the area of having your buckets. So they put those buckets on every type of vehicle. So we collaborated with them together because we wanted the best of both worlds. We wanted the fiber trailer and we wanted to offer them something that had the bucket on the fiber trailer, which eliminates them having to have an actual bucket truck. So as you'll see on there, the lift itself is operated from back here. It is a hydraulic lift, so you can operate it from back here. You can operate it also via remote. So they can be a one-man shop in this actual trailer. So it's built on an 8-inch steel frame, which gives you the durability. You also have your stabilizers here, and you have your stabilizers under there, which allows you to work in any type of terrain. So we have people that are working in mountainous areas or rural Texas, places that are not going to be your normal suburban areas where you're just on a flat surface. So this allows them to take this trailer anywhere they need to. As far as the trailer itself, it's your standard fiber trailer. This particular model has 2 fiber entry doors, which is going to be one over here, one over there. We can add a 3rd door to that if we wanted to. A lot of people like 3.
Okay.
But it gives them that option to have 2. So they're splicing the fiber in there. It also is powered by, you can do a plug,
okay,
but that's only going to work if you're in a suburban or an area where you have it. So you have your generator box here. So it's powered by this generator. You can put whatever size generator you want in there. You've got your slide out right there that allows you to slide that generator out, run it. This is the actual step onto the boom. So the lift itself comes down, it sits right here. It actually anchors on that part right there. The bucket sits right here. You step into the bucket, it's a slide open door, and then you lift the bucket from there. And then I'll let Jeff kind of give you a little bit of information about the inside.
So what's nice about the vehicle, the trailer, is a couple things. Like Jennifer had mentioned, you got 2 fiber access doors, right? It's important that on your fiber access door you have your brushes, so when you bring your cable in, they're stabilized, right? And when you bring them in, we're gonna probably have something to clamp down the fiber cabling. Here's the other one over here on the right side of the vehicle. You can see. Keys come up like this. This one opens up. You can see this one's got the brushings on it as well. And like Jennifer had said, you can add another fiber access door if you want. They're all customizable, right? Another good benefit, you have nice counter space on both sides, right? This counter actually folds down right here. You got good storage. You can see. Got nice storage up here.
And that's your directional
Your directionals right here.
Directional errors.
Right there. Mm-hmm. So one of the benefits of the fiber trailer is this. It comes with 15K BTU, right?
Check out the full tour of the Liberty Lift with PSI on our YouTube channel. Today we have Josh Lambert. He's president of Alabama Lightwave. And we're here to talk to him about the WISPAPalooza show. So Josh, I heard that you were a first-time attendee. Just curious how you even found WISPA. How did you find out about WISPA, the organization?
Certainly. Well, first of all, thank you guys both for having me on the show. This is a great thing. We need more podcasts like this in the WISP industry. So thrilled to get to come on here and be part of the show. So it was my first time at a WISPA event. It was also my first time in Vegas. So I'll just say it was a lot. As somebody here from Alabama, I'm like, there's so much energy. There's so many lights. And I was a little bit intimidated, I'll say, on day one. But we have a very, very warm industry. And by day two, I had already made a bunch of friends. By day three, I mean, I was like thrilled to get, back down there to the ground level and mix with people. And honestly, I've had a hankering to get back over there and hang out with friends since we dispersed. So, honestly, great location. And I think Mr. Nathan Stuck I want to say he did a poll at the end and asked, what do you guys think about the venue? Would you want to come back? And I'm like, yes. And I would not have voted that way on day one. So I would just tell anybody, if you're looking at it from the outside, keep an open mind. You don't know what you might experience. And then as far as hearing about WISPA, we've been a member for a little while now, but I haven't gone to an event just because I didn't think it was important. And I had a friend of mine tell me, oh, no, you have to do this. This is very important for the health of the industry. You need to show up. And it was sort of the same thing about keeping an open mind. I decided, let's give it a shot. And absolutely no regrets. I'll be at the one in Atlanta as well. Just excellent experience.
Oh, awesome.
It's funny that you mentioned that because my first Wispapalooza, well, is Wisp America. It was actually in Alabama back in like 2017 in Birmingham.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I had a similar experience where super nervous, didn't really know anyone, and by like the first party, uh, I knew a lot of people and been coming back since.
Well, I would just tag onto that too. Part of what allowed me to get over the initial, I guess you could say, warming up, where there were several people there that made a point to go and introduce me to other people and to say, hey, I know him from blah, 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 or I know this guy, or you should know them. So the other operators and vendors that helped make those introductions happen, I am very much in their service. That was very, very helpful to just connect with people quicker. Right?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then Josh, from your perspective, did you attend any sessions? Did you find the sessions were informational? What about the one-on-one interaction? What was your take on coming home and having learned something at the show?
So this was one of the actually complaints that I had, but Nathan addressed it, was that there were a lot of overlapping topics that were interesting, and it was not possible to be physically present at every single one. So there was some frustration about going, man, there's a lot of good things going on. And I feel like I'm having to decide, am I going to chop off my left arm or my right arm? Right. Because you can't be everywhere. But Nathan said, look, you just need to bring more people from your organization next time. You can cover more ground. It's a rough paraphrase, but that's basically what he said. And I went, that's a good point, because then we would have that, additional brain trust coming back. But no, I enjoyed the sessions, especially the State of WISPA keynote. That was really informative to learn what practical on the ground things are happening right now in DC. I was not aware of the different things that WISPA was doing. And it inspired me enough that I went and wrote not one, but two different articles, just kind of recapping everything that happened and how it gave me sort of a renewed appreciation for the association. And we'll definitely be writing that check next year when it comes up for renewal.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved with WISPA for a long time, and it wasn't even until I was on the board till I quite understood exactly the extent of what WISPA does for its membership. It is quite extensive.
Well, without a doubt. I've already got that. They sat down and talked to me. That was something I really appreciated. Is 3 or 4 different people that were in high level management, even though they were really, really busy. Poor David. I ambushed him when he was coming off of one of his things to talk to somebody else, and I got about 45 seconds, and I could tell he was in a hurry, but he still was like, "Here, this is how you get a hold of me. This is who you need to talk to. We're going to be in touch. We will consider this." I wanted them to look at changing how the SAS requirements work for CBRS UE. That's there's places there where a couple of adjustments could make the technology a lot better, right? And they didn't shoot it down. So maybe we'll have a conversation and could see that become a legislative priority. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Who knows?
I mean, I think the staff we have now has been fantastic at being in the front of our membership. And since David started, he kind of started like a month before the first WISPAPalooza he was involved in. And I mean, I remember that first show getting FaceTime with him when I absolutely did not expect it. I've found David's very open and puts himself out there for the membership to be available.
Oh, absolutely. He aced it. He'd never met me in my life. And as a first time attendee, it meant a lot that even though we're a smaller WISP and we haven't been here, since 2010 or whatever, we got in at 2019. None of those things mattered. We were treated, I feel like, the same as anybody else that would have been there. So, and also on that note, WISPA does some great mixers. If you guys didn't do any of the night stuff, you really missed it. Standing underneath the Eiffel Tower clone that Vegas has, and the water and the balloons and the lights and the drinks, it was really it was spectacular, absolutely spectacular.
We both had a dinner during the poolside reception, but I've heard fantastic things. Kind of a little upset we missed it.
No, I met at least 2 different operators, and we were able to nerd out about some of the challenges reaching these really rural areas and compare stories. So it's one of those things where you really don't know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
But man, if you go, guys, roll the dice, gamble, get out there, play in the traffic, right? Because you just never know who you're going to meet, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You never know.
And from my perspective, I feel like when I go to the WISPA shows, I'm amongst now a crowd of people that understand what I'm talking about, because my next door neighbors have no idea. If I try to explain to them what I do or the world that I live in, it's very hard for people to understand it. But when I go to a WISPAPalooza show, it's a sea of people that are kind of my people. They live and breathe what I do, and they have an understanding for what I do, and so there's this mutual appreciation. And it almost, once you go to your next show and your next show, it becomes like a family reunion. So it's a great group of people.
Yeah, I'd echo all of that. That's exactly what it felt like. You're among people that understand your walk, they understand your challenges, they understand what keeps you up at night. So we all sort of have that shared vision. And in that, you get, really good fellowship. So yeah, if you haven't been, come. This is your commercial. I should be getting paid for this, right? You guys need to come to the events, right?
One other thing I wanted to ask you, but I noticed that you have a blog. I read one article, but I haven't read the rest. When did you start your blog? What kind of inspired you? And certainly, I hope you'll keep posting.
Absolutely. So before I got into the wireless internet business, I was in the mobile app development business. And that is how the lights were kept on. And that is how I funded the WISP to get it to where it is today. So within the last year, I began to realize, man, I really like working in the wireless internet industry. My WISP is not at a size yet where I can focus exclusively on it. We're getting there, but we're not quite there yet, right? And so I still do a lot of consulting, and I realized that I would rather get more specific and consult to people that I enjoy being around. I really enjoy this scene, this industry. And so I want to take all the time that I've spent building software, building apps, building code, and get hyper specific and apply it here. So to answer your question about the writing, in order to, meet people and find problems, you have to talk about them, which means you have to write. So writing is, for me, it really is an opportunity to engage with the industry, to share what I know, concerns, ideas, and just get them out of my head and on paper, right? So it's it's all about meeting people and making friends, and the conversations that have created in Wisp Talk as a result of those articles have made it worth it. I've got like 15 more that are in the queue that are coming. So definitely check it out at joshlambert.xyz and theedgemile.com. I run both of those sites and I'm blogging like crazy. So buckle up. I found a way to apply C.S. Lewis recently, which was fun. And I'm going to tease this one now. The next one has a Princess Diaries 2 reference because, yes, I grew up with sisters and I'm going there.
Oh,
So
wow.
definitely stay tuned.
Okay,
That's
fabulous.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a needed we need more blogs. Like you said, we need more podcasts in this industry. That's why we've started Beyond the Bandwidth to kind of start that to kind of close that gap for our industry. And so, yeah, keep on blogging. I've loved the posts that I've read, and I've especially loved the discussion on Wist Talk that it's brought.
I love to hear that. I had somebody reach out to me the other day. They called me and they said, "Man, since you started writing this, I've noticed a vibe shift from we're all scared that we're going to get overbuilt to actually no, wait a minute. There are things that we can do that are special that make us unique." And you've given me hope again, and that made me feel so good because I'm like, okay, that means we're doing
Right.
something right. So I think that all of us have something to add, and if we took the time to share our ideas, share our lessons amongst each other, we might just find that same community we see at a WISPA event. We might find it on Facebook. We get all stronger for it. We get that encouragement, and we hang in there. We don't sell out. There's less consolidation, and dare I say, industry expansion. When people see a live, thriving, active community, it makes them
Hmm.
want to start a WISP too. So, absolutely. I'm glad y'all are doing this, and we need like 25 more of them. So, if you're
Yeah.
listening to this, this is also your chance to do a blog, do a podcast. Let's go. Right?
I couldn't agree more. Well, Josh, thank you so much for your time. We're definitely going to have you back on for more for an extended period of time on a future episode.
Absolutely. I'll be back. I look forward to coming back, and maybe we can do one on LTE or 5G. That's my current obsession. So maybe we can do a deep dive on that one soon.
That sounds good. And now we're here with John Gill with Kentucky Fi.
Hi, John. Good to see you.
Hey, Liz. Hey, Spencer. Great to see you. Happy to be a guest on your podcast.
Yeah,
Great to
no,
have
thanks for
you.
coming. I feel like it was just a couple days ago that we saw you at the show. So yeah, we just wanted to kind of get your input. It was a crazy several days, a lot of information coming in all directions. But for you, what were a few key takeaways? Like, were there any really exciting new products or information that you learned at the show?
So, yes, saw a bunch of great technologies, a lot of AI, as well as a lot of technology in the hardware front. AI was spanning all the way from propagation software all the way up to customer facing software, including taking your CSRs and can listen to phone call recordings and great things about that. I truly think the breaking part of all of it was what GeoLinks is doing in unlocking some spectrum. I think that that's wonderful. Bringing that license spectrum down to the WISP level is something that we need it, and I think that that is groundbreaking. I also think that that's wonderful on a license front that not the big carriers are locked down to it anymore. As for what I saw that I would take away from all of it would be the sessions were still amazing. I set in on a session about building a better team, and that team can run the business for you so that way you could focus on running
Hmm.
your business instead of running inside your business. And I think that every CEO, no matter what business you are doing, needs to hear that no matter how big or small you are, whether it's your first hire or whether it's your team of 8.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
I've
I'm
heard.
glad. Yeah, sorry. I'm glad you mentioned that because that particular session is applicable to really any business owner across the board. So you don't have to necessarily be an ISP to learn from the show. So yeah, glad you brought that up. Sorry, Spencer, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, I was just going to say, as a consultant for a lot of business owners in a lot of different industries, that's something we hear all the time. and all the business coaches. You've got to work on the business, not in the business. And that's a big struggle a
Mm.
lot of CEOs have. Um, so glad that they're doing sessions on that. We've heard a lot about the GeoLinks technology during this podcast from other guests. It does seem to be a big highlight of the show.
Yeah, I've been meeting with them quite a bit. I think just opening up additional spectrum for people to use, especially in the licensed bands, is very valuable. I think we're still waiting on some information from them regarding the pricing structure. And I know that they're looking for feedback. So I'm sure that they'll be polling among the ISPs for necessary feedback because I think they want it to be like a win-win situation for everyone. So
Right.
that's yeah, that's something to keep an eye out for.
Once they release their pricing
Yeah.
structure, we're going to try and have them on the podcast to talk
Hmm.
about it in a lot more.
Yeah, I know I talked to Kevin a lot and a lot of people from his team. Me and Alex have been going back and forth a lot recently.
Hmm.
I think the big issue with their pricing structure is currently the license and how they can do that because some counties, they're busting at the seams with population, 200 million, somewhere around there. Or there's smaller counties that are lucky to bust 10,000 people inside the county. So it makes the pricing structure very difficult. But as for the hardware front, I went around and watched them test that. I think the hardware has a great foundation. There are a few things that need to be tweaked, but I've yet to see any hardware come out of the gate that is 100% ready to go out of the gate. There's still some tweaking, but they have a wonderful foundation. And I think the hardware with the intercom, they're doing great, along with SAF and their point-to-point links.
Yeah, you actually got to do a rooftop tour and see one of their CPE locations while in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I did. I got to see the AP and both the CPEs in action. I think the AP is a very solid AP. It needs some work on the mounts, but like I said, nothing is 100% out of the gate. But the fundamentals are there, and it makes for a great thing, as well as the CPEs. The CPEs, when they refer to the bigger CPEs, it's something about the size of the Wave LR, so it's not huge, but it's definitely manageable. I did give them a pretty good rundown. At 5 miles, they were moving 1.5 or 1.6 gigs down and like 200 up. I did shake it pretty well, so the beamforming stayed true. They didn't lose any modulation or anything crazy like that you would see on higher spectrum or higher frequency radios. The beamforming is on there. So, like I said, they're doing great for the hardware fundamentals are there. They need some work on the mounting, but again, nothing's perfect out of the gate.
Yeah, and it does seem like they're an entity that's open to feedback and making improvements. So that's yeah, that's definitely one thing to note.
So, from a vendor standpoint, I know you
Yeah.
all were at the vendor booths a lot. So, what did you guys
Hmm.
see the vendors like really come across? Uh, was the lead count good for you guys, and was it you know did you get to talk to CEOs or technicians? What was your guys' takeaway?
Yeah, so my immediate takeaway was, at some of the shows, especially the larger shows, we see a high volume of people
Hmm.
engaging one-on-one with the decision makers. At this particular show, and especially the 2025 WISPAPalooza, I did notice like there were a lot of decision makers stopping by and saying hi and visiting the booth. So it was, really high quality traffic. So that was really good for us to see. Although we do, I mean, I think that it's good for any show to encourage people not just to bring the decision makers, but to bring the technicians or a lot of people on the team
Hmm.
because you do when you attend a trade show, you kind of have a better understanding for the bigger picture of the industry. So there is
Yeah.
takeaway information from everyone on your team. There's something for everyone to learn.
Doing my rounds as board member talking to vendors, I heard a lot of quality over quantity, that this year there
Mhm.
weren't as many people stopping by the booths, but they had more people interested stopping by the booths. So that they received more leads from decision makers versus more technicians and other and accounting staff grabbing swag and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's important to have a good mix, but the vendors want quality leads, and I think we
Mm-hmm.
delivered that this year.
Yeah. And I did also, and one thing I noticed was there was a just a diverse group of vendors. So not a focus on one particular technology. I mean, obviously, like I operate mostly in the wireless space, but there were fiber vendors. Yeah, I think it was a good thing to see just a new group of vendors that I'd never seen before.
Yep, and like John said, lots of AI vendors. AI is shaping the industry, and we're seeing it.
Yeah, I also saw a few other into the fixed optics space. I know
Hmm.
Tara was there, as well as I can't remember the name of the other guys that were there, but there were some players that were bringing fixed optics to the wireless industry, which I think is great
Hmm.
Hmm.
news. There is also some technology in the 80 gigahertz spectrum. I know that's a soft license, and they're looking into how they can bring that to the US, which I think is very interesting.
Hmm.
There is AI vendors, which was awesome, along with many others. I know, Spencer, you got a clip of circling the whole entire arena there.
Hmm.
So it was a big space, but it was full. I also know there were not any open booths available at the end, sold all the booths, so that was great. That means a lot of vendors, a lot of decision makers came, and I think all in all, it was a great show. The sessions I think needed a little work, but not a tremendous amount. But when you're getting up to 2,000 people, 3,000 people to an event, it's hard to get something for everyone. So that's
Oh,
what makes
100%.
WISPA a little different.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, John, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks, John. We'd like to have you on again, so
Oh, I would
we'll
love
be
to
in
talk to you
touch.
about everything I'm doing.
Joining us today is David Busch with ZipLink Systems in Arizona. Spencer and I had the great privilege of meeting up with David at WISPAPalooza 2025. David, few questions we have for you. You're an industry veteran, yet we continue to see you at the shows, which is awesome. Um, do you continue to learn? And if so, what were a few takeaways from this year's show?
Absolutely. I think we all continue to learn. The landscape changes, products change. Our industry is evolving exponentially. A lot of
Hmm.
competitors, a lot of different things like that that change the business landscape as well. So I think it's always good to um, talk to peers and people that are also going through the same challenges that you are, and seeing what they're doing to mitigate those challenges. So to me, it's a worthwhile trip to be there to network with people and kind of understand what problems they're having and how they're addressing those issues. So.
Mm.
We met up at the show one night, and I remember you were talking about how great it was to be socializing with everybody again.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, it's good to see familiar faces. People that I chat with a lot and talk with over the year to kind of get some FaceTime. And go over some things that we've been working on or talking about over time. There's no replacement for in-person communication, I think. So.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think there during the day at the conference, there are all the sessions to attend, and there's the exhibit hall. But after the exhibit hall hours are over, there are the evening parties, there are the dinners, lots of opportunity to stay connected with people. At the Paris hotel, there was the blue bar where you just don't
Hmm.
know who you're going to run into at all hours of the day and night. So yeah, there are just so many opportunities to run into people and to chat and to talk, and really it's a trade show that starts at 8 in the morning and doesn't end until 2, 3 in the morning. If you're willing to stay up that late.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'm not able to run that hard like you youngins these days, uh, but definitely there's the social events are probably the biggest thing for me. Not only are they fun, but you do have an opportunity to talk to and meet a lot of people. I think
Mhm.
especially if you're somebody starting out in this business or something, that's it's invaluable to get those kinds of connections and input. So.
Right. And I think one thing that actually Josh had mentioned as a first time attendee of WISPAPalooza was people are just so friendly.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make friends if you attend a show. There's also the speed networking session as well. So if
Right.
you're not one to like walk up to someone and say hi, there are usually 1 or 2 speed networking sessions for each of the trade shows, where it kind of forces some dialogue between people.
Hmm.
So you're bound to make a few connections every time you come.
Yeah, I think a lot of engineers are introverted by nature, so
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
know those sort of sessions do facilitate some ice breaking for sure.
Right.
Hmm. That and alcohol.
Yes.
There was alcohol there.
Yeah. Let's see. So David, were you able to attend any of the sessions? Are you
Not
still
not a
learning
whole
from
lot of
them?
them. I think at this point in my career here,
Hmm.
I kind of know where I'm going with this, so I don't think that many of them are of huge benefit to me. But one that I really enjoyed was the AI session I went to. It was an extended
Mm.
session, and I learned a lot of things there, small things, but things that really kind of gave me the aha moment, of the proper tools to use, options that are
Yeah.
out there for getting this stuff going. I've been on a mission to try and automate a lot of things in my network, to basically eliminate data getting out of sync, people touching multiple different systems to get jobs done. It just creates a lot of friction to growth. And to me, the only way to really eliminate that friction is to get things automated and have a single version of the truth for things that are on your network, and to have it automatically go out and touch some of these other systems to make things happen. If you change an SSID for a customer, for example, they shouldn't need to have to know how to use Unify or GWN or even MikroTik devices to go in and do that. They should be able to do that in the CRM, and it automatically knows then how to go out into the network and do that.
Hmm.
The small things like that. GPS synchronization across platforms. CN Maestro has GPS information. UISP has GPS information. Splynx, our CRM, also does. And unless those are constantly and meticulously maintained to keep them in sync, you don't have good data. And all the tools that you use end up not being as useful because of that bad data. So that's been my focus. And ever since I got back from the show, I've been putting a whole lot of time into working on that with N8N and the APIs. I made sure that all of the systems that we chose as we started developing this business did support APIs and ran locally. Those two things were very important to me.
Hmm.
And the fruits from that are really starting to pay off now. So yeah, it's put me to work as soon as I got back.
That's great. And that's what I love about this industry is, yeah, there's a lot of AI vendors in the exhibit hall today. And if you want a ready-made product, that's a great option. But we also have a lot of people, even some that are developing the AI products, that are willing to sit down and help you learn it if you want to learn it yourself.
Right,
And I find that very unique in this industry, where most are like, you don't need to learn how to do that. Use our tool instead.
right,
Where our industry is more like, well, you could use this host and try these tools. And if you get if you're in a bind, just send me an email. I'll try and help you out.
Yep.
I think the peer to peer helping in this industry is next to none.
Yeah, Ryan was very helpful in that regard to me. He's like, if you get yourself in a pickle, just give me a shout. I find that I learn things better once I get beat up by it for a little bit. So I tend to spend the time to go through the pains of learning, like authorization workflows and stuff like that can get pretty hairy sometimes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's good to know that those resources are there if you need to reach out and call in a lifeline, if you will.
And it's kind of funny because everyone's like scared that AI is this replacement of your job. But if you've worked with AI enough, you understand that there's a whole new field called prompt engineering you need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't feed the right information to it, you're going to get very, very wrong results.
Right.
And so, that I think is going to be a big focus of the next few years is prompt engineering and learning how to interact with the AIs, to use AI to build tools and use AI to build other AIs.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, to me,
awesome.
the AI stuff, I really didn't pay it a whole lot of attention. I'm like, how is this really going to help me? And I've worked with some phone AI agents calling into places, and I'm like, this is frustrating, and just give me a person. But in talking to some people at the show and a couple of sessions I went to, I realized that I was wrong about that. I mean, AI can
Hmm.
actually be better in a lot of cases than a human agent, at least to a point. To do some basic troubleshooting, go in and do things that a person would normally do, me in a lot of cases, to try and troubleshoot where the problem is. If I can get an AI agent to go in and get all that done for me before I even look at it, that's a huge help. It saves a ton of time.
Right, right.
And
I
even
think
developing, I mean,
ISPs.
I come from a software engineering background, and so
Hmm.
I was looking at writing code to do this and all that, and I started using ChatGPT to kind of boilerplate and template some of this stuff for me, and it's done an excellent job. I mean, it's wrong a lot, but it gets me in the right direction,
And
and I'm like,
that's what the prompt engineering is about,
right, right.
is learning how to prompt it to be correct.
It took a while for me not to preface everything with please, because it doesn't really care.
Oh, I still act like it's a living human being that's going to
It's
attack me
weird.
someday.
It's
So
weird, isn't it?
please, yes, thank you very much. Yes,
Yeah.
oh AI, oh AI.
Just don't arm it, whatever you do, right?
I saw an article the other day, and it was an AI robot, like housekeeping type robot in a custodial application, uh, convince 7 other AI robots to not
Oh
do
yeah.
their job.
Yeah, I read that
Yeah.
too.
They
It's
they they convinced the other robots they were being mistreated, so they should walk
Oh,
off the
geez.
yes,
job.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we got to be careful what
yes,
we train it on, huh?
exactly. Like, let's leave protests out. Do not teach it
Right,
Right.
unions.
right.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Was there anything particular, product that you saw, service that you saw in the exhibit hall that really struck out to you?
Not this time around, but I think
Okay.
that's partly because there's not a whole lot of new stuff out right now, and partly because I keep my thumb pretty hard on the pulse, so I kind of know
Yeah.
what's going on already.
Hmm.
But that came, from experience and time, and honestly, some of the networking that I've done at previous shows, So
Hmm.
I try to make it there every year, and so far have. But the benefits to me are kind of shifting a little bit, but they're still there. So
Yeah. We had Josh Lambert on earlier, and he was a first time attendee, and it's kind of cool to see like the journey, right? You've got the
mhm.
first time attendee who's like, "This was amazing. I was skeptical at first. First day was, but after day two and
Hmm.
meeting people, it was amazing." To industry veteran who's, I go every year. This is this is where I am because of going every year.
Right.
It's really cool seeing that whole timeline work out.
Sure.
Do you have any suggestions for any first time attendees that may attend in the future?
Other than maximize your time there, do as much as you can. There are sessions that are great, especially for first timers or people
Hmm.
starting out in this industry. There's networking opportunities. There's a chance to talk to all the manufacturers and distributors and services and products there that you may not even know exist. So spend time in the exhibit hall. Stop at every booth and figure out what it is they do and if it can help you. You know. I think that every show I've been to, I walk away with actionable, useful information that has helped me grow my business.
Great. Well, Dave, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. Good luck with all your systems you're building.
Awesome. I can't wait to show you some stuff.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Have a
Thanks,
great weekend,
David.
guys.
Thanks for your
Take
time
care.
today.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Check us out at www.beyondthebandwidth.com. Feel free to reach out to us with commentary or if you'd also like to be a guest on our show. We hope to see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.